hello everyone, and welcome back to Strikes Our Fancy Season 2.
Sorry. It just felt lackluster.
Yeah. Isn't it Strikes Our Fancy Electric Boogaloo?
Not that it needs any particular fanfare, but it's only been 2 weeks since we recorded our season finale, and so we're back at it. But we're starting with our new format with a guest.
Don't we deserve like 2 months off?
That's what I said. I was like, "You're not taking a break?" And Craig's like, "Well, I don't really want to." Okay.
Then Craig whipped the whip, and me and
Yeah.
Rob are here. Hit Rob so hard, in fact, that he showed up an hour early.
Actually, that was just a lie. I've been here since the last recording. Craig doesn't let me leave anymore.
Okay.
We keep him in the basement.
Rob did say he might flake out, so Craig's like, I got to keep him here.
Gotta lock that shit down. So we're kicking off a new year, and just to set the tone for the rest of the year, we plan on releasing episodes every first and third Tuesday of the month. But before we dive too deep, I am one of your hosts, Craig. Along with me tonight, I have...
Spooky Caleb.
And just regular old Rob this week.
And our inaugural Season 2 bi-monthly guest...
Googly Ghost Carrie. Woo.
So I realized that it's way harder to schedule 4 people to get together on the same night than it is 3 people. And so our last minute fill-in is Carrie for this evening.
I volunteer as tribute. I was really poked at to make sure I did it.
Yeah.
I had a big day, and I still am doing it. And I feel
A little bit of a voluntold situation.
a little bit. I'm just being very generous with my
We
time
appreciate
today.
it.
No, I'm excited. It'll be fun. I always like doing these.
Carrie, you can take that sheet off your head with the 2 holes in it for eye holes. It's not Halloween yet.
No, it's my favorite outfit.
So with spooky season right around the corner, I thought it would be fun to get together and just talk about Halloween in general and what it means to us. Maybe a little bit about what we did as kids growing up for Halloween and what we're doing different these days now that we're all adults. Because I certainly know a lot has changed for me since I was a kid. And so with that in mind, Caleb, why don't you kick us off? How was Halloween for you growing up?
I mean, when this discussion was brought forth, I don't really have any good stories about Halloween.
No?
I mean, I trick-or-treated until I was like 15 years old, and I think that's a bit too old to be trick-or-treating.
I was kind of thinking like, wow, that's kind of old.
Well, it is. I just wanted candy at that point,
Yeah.
so I was like, I put a trash bag over my like body and like a ski mask, and I just walked around the neighborhood.
What was it supposed to be?
I have no clue.
Yep, doesn't matter.
Oh.
I just needed the mask.
Yeah.
It was a kid who wanted candy.
Exactly.
I mean, I guess.
Well, I've got solidarity for you, Caleb, because I think as 16, a buddy and I did the exact same thing. We threw on a mask and we went around to get just some candy.
Exactly.
Yeah. We did the same thing. We wore Scream masks.
Ooh.
And if you go to a good house wearing a Scream mask, we all would wear Scream masks. Me and like 4 of my friends. And then we'd all run through, and then we'd like split up into different groups and go through with them to the good houses.
Oh man.
I went twice.
Yeah.
Carrie, how
Okay,
late
I'm just sorry. Y'all went trick-or-treating as teenagers. Did you not have like younger siblings that you had to take out? Like you were the grown-up in that situation?
I'm the youngest.
Damn, and so are
So
you.
am I.
And
Well,
you
I'm
have
the
some-
oldest, but I don't have to take my
oldest.
sisters out.
Lucky. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so
fascinating to me.
So how long into your life were you still trick-or-treating, Carrie?
Okay, so I don't remember, but I highly doubt it was very old because I freaking hated trick-or-treating. It was not a fun experience growing up. Yeah.
It's
Didn't-
candy and costumes.
You don't even know, Caleb. You go to my house and you will not want to trick-or-treat anymore either. I'm just saying.
What does that
I
mean?
know where I'm not going this year.
Yeah.
That's right. Don't do it.
Did they give out apples?
Who?
Is that why you wouldn't want anyone to go to your house?
No.
'Cause they give out shitty treats.
I'm not saying don't go to my house. That's fine. I'm saying you don't want to go trick-or-treating with my mom or, well, basically my mom. She's just really, really intense about a lot of things, but definitely trick-or-treating.
How was she intense about trick-or-treating?
Contest?
We grew up in different homes. Like, was it a contest? Okay, I guess I will tell my childhood trick-or-treating story first. So I am the fourth of 6 children, and the 2 oldest were boys, and they were not nice older brothers. And then my older sister was kind of like always trying to like pair up with them and be cool with them. And I was like, I don't like any of you guys. You're scary. I just do my own thing.
Because of the costumes, right? Because you were scared of what they were wearing?
No, I was just afraid of them as people. I mean, they were just not very nice older brothers. Of course not. Some people have protective older brothers. I had kind of asshole older brothers that just wanted to pick on you. They're like the older brothers that picked on their sisters.
They were protecting you by making you hard.
You know what? I think they would probably argue that today, that they would say that ultimately it was a good thing. I don't know.
You should share this with your brothers now.
I mean, they can hear it if they want to.
I'm also needling because I know these gentlemen. And I know this is not factual.
It's not factual?
No. What I'm saying. Like, I'm joking about them in a way that
sure.
it's not accurate to them.
But so anyway, there was that part of the kerfuffle. And then my mom hauls us all around in our minivan. Well, my dad would drive. And my mom would be, of course, in the passenger seat. And then she's like, okay, all right, everybody get out. And we would hit up a street. And you had to make sure you got every single house. And you always hit the good houses. One year, here's some of my own snafus that I learned very quickly. One house made popcorn balls. And I was like, no, thank you. I don't really like popcorn balls. And my mom screamed at me in the car and was like, I would have eaten your popcorn ball. Why didn't you get one? And then there was a different house, and I don't know if this was the same year or a different year, where they had like the giant candy bars. But I didn't like any of those candy bars, so I took like a couple of smaller things. And of course, once again, my mom says, why didn't you take the giant candy bar? And so Halloween was a little bit traumatizing in a way. I shouldn't use that term lightly, but it was always a competition. Who gets the most candy? And then you would dump out your candy in the car, okay? You dump it out into a bigger bucket in the car so that the next street you go down, those people feel bad for you because they don't think you have very much candy and they give you extra candy.
Oh my
Was that your
God.
mom's plan? Like, did she come up with that?
So my mom would tell you that we did that so that we weren't carrying huge buckets full of candy around. But it was really so that people would feel bad and give us extra candy.
Did she ever admit that to you, or is that just something you sussed out?
I don't know if I honestly can't remember. I don't know that she ever said anything, but that's why. She is a
Okay.
very competitive person. It's awful.
I think it's interesting that you keep using the word competitive because I obviously know my mother-in-law, and I think it's much more about she's the kind of person who, if there's something offered for free, you take it.
It's
You
a good
idiot-
deal.
You idiot. Why aren't you taking that?
Get the fucking popcorn ball.
Yeah.
Right. Like, even if it doesn't matter because someone else will eat it, so get it. What? I don't know. I just still have like a hard time with that. But
I can
Never
imagine her
again.
like yelling at you from the car.
it was after the door was closed because she couldn't let like the neighbor lady hear her yelling at us.
Oh yeah,
Small-
yeah.
Small town. They
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
Right. And then like you get in the car and you're like, Mom, I'm cold. Can we go home? And she says, no. There's like a whole another neighborhood in town we haven't hit yet. Of course.
Oh my God.
Was your mom the grandpa from Holes?
Oh, I don't even. I don't remember the grandpa from Holes, which is weird. I like that movie, and I read the book.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I vaguely. It's been a long.
You know
time
what
since
Rob
I-
knows what I'm talking about.
A little.
Okay.
I would never have been able to pull that out.
Okay.
Said something.
I'll send a clip
Okay,
to folk.
but I mean, she was very hardcore about Halloween, and we started as soon as it was almost. It was like dusk, like the sun was just barely up a little bit, and then we went all the way for like 3 hours. We would go straight. It was stressful, and then like some years back then, it would sometimes snow on Halloween, and so there was one time I tripped and fell in my cute little princess costume because you're wearing like a coat over everything because it's so freaking cold. I tripped and I fell, and my brothers did not help me. They took my candy and left me there.
Jesus.
So then, of course, I'm like crying and I'm so ready to go home. But I have like 2 more hours of trick or treating that I have to do.
Not even the promise of candy could.
Well, they took my more candy, I guess. But at that point, I was like, I just want to go home.
Well, what I don't get is Wasn't it all communal at that point anyway when you dump it in the car?
No, you have your own bucket. And you still compare at the end. And then you get home and you pull out all the crap you don't want and you try to trade it with someone who does want it.
There was like a brokerage.
Of
Yes.
candy, and once everyone got back.
And then whatever nobody wanted, my mom and dad would eat.
Oh man,
This is not how your houses worked.
my family was exactly the opposite. I mean, we still had the compare and trade at the end of the night, but my parents were cut and run. They did not drive us anywhere. It was, if you want to go trick or treating, take a hike.
Sure.
Would they at least like help you with costumes?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Like,
Okay.
It wasn't like Halloween was a completely like you're on your own.
No. But
So they sent 9-year-old Rob just like, here's your costume. Go get your candy.
no, it wasn't that bad. But maybe at 9 years old, I was out on my own.
I'm picturing a small Rob, still with a mustache, but like, have some candy.
I mean, I did one year.
You're like Tom Selleck.
I was Mario.
Oh,
Oh, that's awesome.
So I don't remember when I first went trick or treating on my own, but like as soon as I was old enough, my parents are like, "All right, see ya. Have fun with your friends."
What were they doing?
Okay.
Handing out candy,
Oh, okay.
drinking, probably.
Oh, yeah,
Parent
because
stuff.
you were like 14 by this time.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we'd come home and dump out our candy and compare it and trade. But my parents didn't want the candy nobody wanted. They
Hmm.
took a candy tax of the good candy.
A candy tin.
Fair.
I love it.
Okay. Even though they didn't even have to go out in the cold themselves.
No, it's because they couldn't go out. They're too old for trick or treating. So
Oh.
you give them some of the candy.
Okay, but a key
I mean-
thing here is you grew up in Florida where it wasn't fucking 0 degrees outside.
Right.
No,
I'm curious if it down in Florida is driving kids around a thing, because up here it's so cold.
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
Some people would do that. Like, you know, if you lived in an especially rural area, you'd drive into town.
Mhm.
But once you're in town, kids just walk.
Okay.
You might have the parents stop at a corner and wait until kids come back and maybe go to another neighborhood. But typically, everyone just goes out.
Okay.
That's what we did. Like they just dropped us off at one end of the street, then they drove around to the other end and just met us on the other end.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah,
So like,
we did that
Yeah.
too. So it wasn't like you got in after every house. You definitely do like a whole street at one time. But yeah, we never were. But we also lived on like the outskirts of town. So we would have had to like walk half a mile on the highway to get anywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's probably part of it. And then again, like my mom couldn't miss out on telling us what to do. So
Because you wouldn't have done it right.
you're right. I would have come home with like 5 little candy bars and been fine.
Yeah, you can't be trusted to trick or treat properly.
Would you have still been fine if after your 5 candy bars were done, all of your siblings still had 3 pounds of candy and you just didn't have anything?
Okay, but as a quality middle child, you learn how to be sneaky and take. That sounds really aggressive, but
Right.
you take other people's things
You heard it here,
because they
folks.
have an
Stealing is
abundance.
okay.
Yeah, don't tell my sister that because she'll. She claims I took everything. I did though, but whether it was her clothes,
But it's rude to point it out.
I can point it out. You can't point it out. But whether it was her clothes or her CDs or her candy. Okay, yeah, I would.
Quality middle child.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I knew how to do that part, right?
But you're such a mediator. You just want to keep everybody happy as long as you get your cut.
I've matured since then. Kind of.
So like in regards to your mom, I imagine her giving you like shitty costumes, so like people would feel more bad for you.
So I don't really feel like we ever actually had shitty costumes. Some years we had decent ones, but you were always, it didn't even matter because you're wearing your winter coat and all of your gloves and your hats, and they don't go with your costume and your winter boots. And so like people didn't see your costume anyway, but they might have felt bad for me when they saw like the dry tears on my face and my puffy eyes because I was just screamed at in the car.
Was
That's possible.
Was that the every year occurrence? The puffy eyes and the tear streaked face?
Well, see, it's hard to say because those are the ones I remember. I mean,
man.
maybe
Caleb.
there are probably good ones too.
That you're asking, Carrie, that question lets me know that you didn't grow up in a family with a lot of siblings.
Right.
No,
Right.
no.
Every holiday has at least one child. Every
Yes.
single time that is crying by the end of the night.
We have a saying on our family vacations and holidays. It's not a holiday or vacation until someone cries.
Yep.
That is legitimately what is said.
Is
And
that-
it's true.
Is that healthy?
Caleb, nobody asked you that when you were a child, did they?
Sorry.
Nobody asked me that.
Crying is healthy. What led up to it, probably not so much.
That's a really good answer.
That is. I like it. You guys are talking about like comparing and contrasting like the end of the night, like goods and supplies.
Yeah.
We would just pour it all into one
What?
area and we would just snack from there. Like
Socialist anarchy.
there
No.
was no
Okay. I mean, is that just how your family did everything though? Because like my family was very individualistic, which is not great and created problems, of course. But like maybe is that like collectivist idea? Like you just share everything you have, which would be way healthier.
How do you prevent the tragedy of the commons where one person eats all the Reese's? And
Right?
if it happens, it happens. And you got to get in there as fast as you can.
Oh, okay. That's like your house.
Yeah.
There would have been fistfights in my house.
Yeah.
With the parents, I'm assuming.
To clarify, in case they're listening, they didn't just take all the good candy. They would take like 1 or 2 pieces from each child.
To Carrie's point, Caleb, in my family growing up, not for holidays and Halloween and whatnot, but for almost meals, it was you have to eat fast so that you can get in there and get seconds. Because if you don't, then someone else will get there and there'll be nothing left. So was that your guys' mindset with the candy?
Kind of. Like, I mean, yeah, I guess.
Get it
I
while
never-
the getting's good.
Wait,
I never.
so your family just didn't have leftovers?
No.
Rare. I mean, it wasn't like there was a lack of food. It was a family of 7.
Okay, yeah, that's
and
a lot
with
of food to make.
4 boys. So like we just ate all the food all the time.
Okay,
As fast as you could.
Well, and it's a problem I'm still dealing with to this day. Is that
Yeah.
it is ingrained in me. Eat as fast as you can so you can get more, because otherwise you won't get any.
How do you deal with this, Carrie?
Okay. Great question. So, back in the day, because we don't have this problem anymore, we've been together long enough to know how to settle this issue. But back in the day, we would make like a box of mac and cheese, right? And because we were college students and then poor grown-ups that didn't want to do dishes, we just ate out of the pot and we just share it, right? But eventually I was like, Craig, I don't want to share this with you anymore because I feel like I have to just eat so fast if I want to get very much. And so then we always just divvied it up half and half into bowls now. And to this day, we still do that. Like I will not even try to eat out of the same bowl, whether it's popcorn, anything. I do
can't be
not want to
trusted.
share.
I have a feeling.
Carrie
you,
doesn't share food because Craig eats too fast.
So you gave her a complex, Craig.
A little bit. Yeah.
We had to define healthy boundaries.
There it was.
There you go. There you go. That's a good one that we have.
But-
Except you still drink out of all of my cups. And you're always like, can I have a bite of that sandwich? It's like, okay, but why don't you just get your own?
I'm gonna go ahead and get off this crucifix and start talking about Halloween again.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
So, Caleb, nobody in your family would like snatch up all the candy, the one type of candy they wanted, and just run off with it?
Wait, or hide it in their pillowcase or
I'm
something?
thinking of all the things I would have done in that situation.
So, like,
yeah, exactly.
maybe my older brother and sister did that, and I just never noticed. I was like, "Oh, we're all sharing." Right?
Aw, that's so cute.
You didn't notice it because there was no good candy left for you to taste.
Exactly. I was like, "Why is there shitty candy every year?" I just
Milk
don't.
duds. There's nothing but milk duds.
Milk duds are amazing.
Maybe you all like
Peanuts,
different candy.
We all like different candy. Yeah,
That
I mean,
helps.
there was a significant lack of Reese's in the household, so maybe.
Hmm.
I guarantee you they were in somebody's pillowcase. That's where I put the good candy.
And if they ever listen to this, I'll ask them. I'll be like, "Listen to this and tell me the truth."
Yeah. I need to know.
Anybody remember their favorite
Like I said with Scream Mask,
Yeah.
That was my costume from the time that movie came out until I stopped trick or treating. And I still have that mask.
Oh, that's
Like, it was
awesome.
one Scream mask.
Is it the one where you squeeze the thing and the blood kind of?
No, it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
the OG Scream mask.
Okay.
Like from the first year, that was
Yeah.
just the ghost.
Is that now an heirloom, or are you still wearing it? I was like, have you handed that down to your kids? Like,
They wouldn't know what it is.
well, yeah, but they don't need to know. It's just like, it's a goofy mask to them, but it's like, I pass this on to you as it was given to me. You carry on this tradition. If you don't, our family will fall into ruin
So
this one night.
now that I have kids that I go out trick or treating with, I don't do this anymore. But my favorite thing to do is sit out on the stoop with a bowl of candy and like completely cover my body, so it looks
No.
like it's just like a scarecrow,
No.
and wait until somebody comes up and then start chasing them down.
Oh my! You get up and chase them.
Yeah.
You don't even just grab them; you chase them.
Oh yeah.
Oh my! That's the stuff of nightmares. I would have cried because of that.
Have you
I
done
would've
that
cried a lot.
here?
I haven't done that here. No.
Ah.
You should scare all those neighborhood
I really
kids.
want to.
There are a lot of kids to do that for.
I think give it a couple years. Our neighborhood has a lot of little kids. I don't think we have a lot of teens yet. Once we get some more teens,
Yeah.
I think that'd be a little more worthwhile.
And also, there's a lot of people with guns in the neighborhood. Be careful.
There's a lot of truth to that.
But I remember one year I did that, and the neighbor across the street was just like out for a smoke and saw that and just started cracking up. That was funny.
It's always good to have an audience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Appreciative audience. But how about you, Caleb? Did you have a favorite costume?
Ninja Turtle.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good
Which one?
Raphael, the red one.
Okay.
Mhm.
Nice.
He was amazing.
Did you have a sword?
He had the size.
Oh, I thought, who has a katana?
Leonardo. My brother was always Leonardo.
Oh, okay.
I could never be Leonardo.
Yep.
Was Raphael your favorite because it was a non-option?
Pretty much.
You dodged a bullet there. Leonardo's personality trait is that he's the leader.
Are you right? But he is kind of the cool. He's got the sword, Rob.
That's true.
And every time we'd play the Ninja Turtle game on Nintendo, could never be Leonardo.
Mhm.
No, like I get that. My older sister, if we ever played Power Rangers, she always got to be the pink Power Ranger, and I had to be the yellow Power Ranger because, of course, she gets to choose first because she's older.
Mhm.
She sucks. Just saying.
Officially stated on the podcast.
Official. She knows I would say that.
Rob, you feeling uncomfortable yet as the oldest in your family? There's a lot of young
Animosity.
kids in this group.
No.
It's just a lot of
yeah.
animosity, I
Yeah,
think, because we
I-
get frustrated.
Or are you just like, yeah, it was awesome.
That's our right as the oldest child. I was always Mario.
Yes, of course.
I got to be the Red Ranger.
My
I was
birthright.
Leonardo.
Dang. Must be nice.
Yep.
But so were you were a turtle year over year though?
No, that was just my favorite.
Oh, okay.
There was a various plethora of things over the course of 15 years, I guess.
Yeah.
Second best would be the trash bag man. The last year.
You were a California raisin.
I didn't put that much thought into it.
You didn't have a saxophone
Like
with you?
I had nothing. Part of me is thinking like, is this guy about to rob me every time I go knock on the door? Ski mask, trash bag. It looks fishy.
That's true. I don't think I'd answer the door for that kid.
That's a big kid with a big mask. I don't know if he's
Wearing a trash bag.
Wearing a trash bag.
Wow. Craig, what was yours?
Well, that's this might be a little disingenuous, or my memory isn't as good as it used to be, but I don't think I ever had an original costume. I was the youngest of 5, and I just got recycled costumes every year. Not to say they weren't fun. My mom had made these cloaks. They were great cloaks, but they were really utilitarian. I would just add stuff to them to make them into something else, but the cornerstone of every costume was the cloak.
Like a Harry Potter cloak?
Kinda, but it didn't have any like frills or anything extra on it. It was just a simple black cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Did it keep you warm? Was it like multi-purpose?
It was really thin,
Oh,
I
never
wish
mind.
it had been thicker.
because then I wouldn't have to worry about it in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
If cloaks were like culturally acceptable, would you guys wear them on the day?
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
I still,
Definitely.
I wear like a cape. It's like a sweater thingy, but it's doesn't have arms, and
It's a shawl.
It's a shawl, but like you've called them Mike capes.
Yeah.
I love them. I don't think they're actually coming back in style or anything. I just wear them because they're comfy.
Just wear them. Bring them back.
I do, but people aren't looking at me to make statements. They're not going to follow my clothing choices.
If there was any old-timey fashion statement or that I could bring back, it'd be a half cape.
I think
What the hell's a half cape?
It's exactly what it sounds
Just
like.
a half
It's
of a cape.
But typically, it's only over one shoulder.
Oh.
And it only goes down to like maybe below your waist or your butt.
They're like pretentious AF.
Yeah.
They're so silly looking.
But in my mind, it's better than a full cape because otherwise people are going to think you're trying to be a superhero.
People think you look weird with your full cape.
Right. No, with the half cape, they're going to be like, what the fuck? What happened to the rest of it?
Look at this normal gentleman.
You guys are bullies.
No, I'm with you, Craig. I would bring back ponchos, like Old West ponchos.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
Welcome to Strikes Our Fancy Fashion Edition.
Well, no, it's just these are if we can't bring these things back, these are costumes we should have, moving forward.
One day of the year where Rob can wear a poncho freely.
Exactly.
Listen,
Wait, also,
the societal expectation isn't what's stopping me from getting one. It's the cost.
Okay.
I was gonna say, don't you work from home? You can wear a cape
Yeah,
and a
just
poncho
wear-
all day.
Yeah, I was going to say, little do we know he's wearing them every day at his house.
Yeah. I just see you like standing inside your front door and be like, one of these days I'll go outside. I'll work up the courage.
Jody's pulling up. He's like, shit.
Hide the shame.
Shows how little you guys know me.
But how about you, Carrie?
But
To the original question, did you have a
costume.
favorite costume or one you wore every year?
I mean, I remember dressing up as like Esmeralda from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I don't even know how you say that correctly. But that wouldn't be my favorite. I remember being a pumpkin princess, which is a really weird thing, but it was a pumpkin princess costume. And at the time, I don't think it was my favorite, but thinking back, I think it looked like, because I was like first or kindergarten maybe, and I look really cute with my little black tights on. At least that's how I imagine it in my head that I was cute, but I don't actually know.
Well,
I don't remember a lot of other costumes though.
I'm trying to visualize a pumpkin princess, and all I'm seeing is a kid dressed as a pumpkin with a tiara.
That's kind of what it was. And then,
Like, is there anything else that denotes the royalty?
I think
cape.
I
Half
had
cape.
like a cape. So I had like a wand, or maybe it was, what are those
Scepter?
scepter things with a pumpkin on it?
I'm
That was the
curious-
only other thing.
I'm curious about the lore of a pumpkin princess now.
I don't have any idea. I don't know. It was a really weird costume. And if my mom does hear this, she's probably be like, that's not what that was. But I think that's what it was.
Hold on. We saw lights flash on the window. Is your mom here?
Said she's on her way. No.
Oh, okay.
She should. Yeah, she just left work.
Okay.
So
Caleb has a curfew of 10 o'clock tonight, by the way.
mommy's picking me up. That sounds super sexual. That's
That
not,
did.
that-
It really did. It sounded like
Get a little closer to the mic and say that again.
that was a little bit weird.
I was going to move on to adulthood Halloween because I have a problem. I was wondering if I could pose to you guys.
Thank you for not saying adult Halloween.
There was a lilt. I don't know if you caught
Yeah,
it.
I did.
I had to catch myself because adult Halloween is a different night.
yeah.
So growing up, my family lived like on an acreage out of town. So like no, we never had anyone visit for Halloween. And now Carrie and I, for as long as we've been together, most of the time we lived in an area where people didn't trick or treat in our area. And now we've owned this house for a little over a year. So we've done one Halloween here. But like, I will admit, I feel weird as an adult giving out candy. Like, I feel like everything in life is telling me like, hey, you're a large adult man. You should not be talking to those kids and you should not be giving them treats.
Well,
This is the one night of the year where it's okay for you to interact with children.
It is. Isn't there a lot of like the trunk like trunk
or treat.
trunk or treat
Mhm.
stuff nowadays. It kind of has replaced. Has it fully replaced? Like
No.
going
Mm-mm.
door to door?
No.
No, I mean last year we still did get some kids. coming
No,
around.
we ran out of candy last year.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have a lot, thinking we wouldn't get very many, but we ran out. So
Did
I felt
you guys
really bad.
get tricked for no treats?
We just turned off our light and then no one came over here.
Yeah, as far as I know,
Yeah,
no,
'cause
no
we're on
tricks.
the end of the street, so if our light's not on, just no one will walk by.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I always think like it's just like that one little inconvenience that I think enough people would just be like, I'm not going to go to that house. I just don't want to. That's a lot of walking back and forth. But no, they did it. It was cool.
Would
I
your
was-
mom let you not come to the site?
No, she'd definitely make us go. If the light's on, we're going. So
Also-
that's a good point. I just figure a lot of moms aren't like my mom.
At least she was polite. If the light was off, she'd be like, "We're not hitting that house."
There was
Most
no
of the
time
time.
for tricks, Caleb.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
all treat night.
it's all treat.
That's right. That would be a waste of time. We're not going to invest time in something that we're not getting anything out of.
It doesn't bring joy.
Not a lot of it did, but it's fine.
There are still a lot of kids walking around on Halloween in the denser neighborhoods.
Mhm.
Not really where the apartments are.
Yeah.
But like around here, there's a lot.
I think there's a couple like layers to the trunk or treaters because you've got the parents who are trying to be the most efficient and get the most candy, where they'll do trunk or treat and trick or treat,
Mhm.
and then you've got like maybe parents who are sensitive to the idea of their kids being out in the neighborhood and don't want them to be safe. They do the trunk or treat. Then you got parents that just don't give a shit and send your kids out into the dark like Rob.
Here's a flashlight.
Yeah,
Go.
have fun.
No, we didn't get flashlights.
Oh,
Had to hope the street lights were on.
you guys sound like you had terrible childhoods.
It was great, man.
It was great.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a level of freedom there. to
Yeah, just like
appreciate.
4 or 5 kids terrorizing the neighborhood. Nobody could stop us.
That's how like classic 80s adventure movie starts.
Okay.
You got to have the freedom to go meet the serial killer.
Did you guys ever go and find a dead body in the middle of the woods? Is that kind of
No, but not for lack of looking.
So Rob, you guys live in the neighborhood. Like, did you guys have you done trick or treating? Like give out candy?
We did, but we went out trick or treating during the prime time,
Oh,
so
okay,
we didn't give out as much candy as we were expecting to.
gotcha.
Mm.
And I kind of feel bad that I didn't just leave the bowl out.
Oh.
Then some little asshole's gonna come along and just take it all.
I don't care.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
That says something about that kid, not about me.
Fair enough. But then you don't get that candy. Like if it's not out, then you get to keep it.
But he's already out getting a variety of candy.
Oh, does it taste sweeter when it's earned?
It does.
You tell me. I mean, according to my mom, yes.
In your apartment complex, do you guys do any trick or treating? Like, I've always wondered how that works in bigger areas, more denser areas.
I'm sure like bigger urban areas, like maybe people go door to door in an apartment building, which seems more sketch than the neighborhood, in my
Agreed.
opinion.
Yes.
But I've never had people stop by the apartment.
I live with these people. I don't want to trick or treat from them.
Exactly.
Got to go to a different building.
Yeah.
Apartment 5 smells a lot, so I'm not going there.
Ew.
No, they do not.
Although on the other hand, it's a good chance to see into your neighbors' houses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Is that kind of like why you take your kids trick or treating? You kind of want to just sneak in and take a look.
No, but I definitely do sneak a peek when I can.
Is there something to be said about, as we've gotten older, the prospect of giving out candy, and that being the enjoyable aspect of Halloween? now?
Yeah, that is kind of fun, actually.
My lazy ass hates the fact that we have a split foyer.
Oh,
So either
Yes.
I have to sit on the step, or I have to go down to the door every time someone rings the damn doorbell.
yeah.
It's really obnoxious.
At what point are you just like, here's the bowl outside?
Mm,
Just sit out in the garage.
that's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
I've seen a lot of people do
Hmm.
that.
That
Yeah.
makes more sense.
But what do you do when you're sitting out there and it's cold?
You have a fire. We can
Yeah.
put the fire pit out front.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a fun idea.
Wear a sweater.
Wear a sweater.
I remember one year
A
walking.
Bill Cosby sweater. Nothing scary.
Right? Yeah, that was very specific.
I remember one year walking down the street and start smelling. Oh my God! Someone is having a fish fry right now,
Oh.
and came up to their house, and oh man, it smelled so good.
Ooh.
Were they giving out fish?
No, they were giving out candy, but like they were outside, and it's like, okay, well, since we're going to be in the garage all night, we're going to fry up some fish.
Okay.
Interesting. So it wasn't even like the kids get candy and the adult gets a fish sandwich.
Unfortunately, no. Or maybe if we would have got there later and it was ready, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun idea of like having a fire, then giving out little like s'mores baggies. So if they wanted to stay and make a s'more, they could. But maybe that's too time consuming.
Yeah, I mean, for some parents, apparently.
Yeah, my mom wouldn't have time for that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that might get a little bit weird.
Yeah. I mean, then you have like kids lurking around your fire. Or they could get burnt and then you're
That's
like
true, yeah.
liable.
Well, and also like, here, kid, take this one open, loose
Yeah.
Marshmallow.
That's true. Individualized baggie
I
that
swear I
touched.
didn't do anything to it.
Don't squeeze the marshmallow with your hand.
Oh. I mean, I just remember those ideas of like people putting sharps in candies and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
What
who
assholes?
does that?
Assholes.
Does anybody actually do that?
I was going to say, is that
know.
actually a confirmed thing? Like, I thought it was just a rumor.
Was that just
Yeah, I don't
like,
know. Just everybody on the news reports on it,
Yeah.
even though it doesn't really happen.
Let's
Parent
smokes
panic.
it.
Because I mean, I grew up in a very small town, and like, no, that was never a thing. You know, you heard it on the news. My parents would check our candy. They would ostensibly go through it to look for sharps.
Mhm.
I think they were pawing through it for the parent tax, like
Right.
Rob's parents.
Yeah.
Well, and my parents did look through it, and like anything that was open, we had to throw away.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sure.
But then, like, yeah, sometimes you'd get an apple, and it's like, well, if you want to eat the apple, eat the apple.
Yeah, right.
Giving away apples would almost be like more expensive nowadays.
Mm-hmm. So, Rob, you shared a little bit about like in the trick or treat fashion, you have done some tricks that you would, sit out with a bowl of candy and chase
Mhm.
people. Carrie, Caleb, have you guys ever actually done a trick on trick or treat during Halloween?
I've done the same thing as Rob. It's a super simple thing to do. I just dressed in all black.
Yep.
And I just sat there like a dummy.
Mm-hmm.
And then they approached. And then I screamed.
Mm.
Well,
I didn't go chasing after anybody. That's too much physical exertion. But I would just scream.
Not worth
I
it.
didn't like run after anybody. I
Yeah.
just got up and like kind of did like a zombie shuffle toward the end of the driveway.
The monster mash.
Yeah.
that's awesome. I feel like your black garbage bag is just coming in handy for all kinds of things.
It's a very versatile garment.
Apparently.
As soon as I can't just waste the garbage
Well,
bag.
no, you have to use it every year now, I guess.
I do remember one of my
away in there.
neighbors one year, back when I was a teenager, actually dug a hole in his yard so he could hide in it, and then he had his family like cover him in hay.
Oh,
And
man.
as kids would approach, he'd like jump out.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I will admit there is some small twisted part of me that wants to become known as like the house that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Like there's some new elaborate prank every year.
There was another prank, a different house. The guy actually like took the window out of his door and put a black curtain in it. And I said, "Reach in for your candy."
Oh.
Whoa.
Nope.
Was it like Halloween trickery or was it like nastiness?
It was actually nothing. Like it was just a bowl of candy.
Oh, okay.
But it was
Okay.
like you come up and there's a guy like standing outside the door, and he's like, "Go ahead and reach in."
The suspense.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always thought it was cool. Like if I owned a house, like again, this would probably not fly because like you're inviting people into the house, but like have like a little tiny spook trail in the house.
Yeah.
Have them walk through, get their scares and their thrills, and then have like candy waiting for them at the end.
I think when people put in that amount of effort, it's kosher to do it outside.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like
Put
in their
up, like-
garage or something.
Yeah, you put up like tents or like a little tunnel kind of
Mm.
thing
Mhm.
leading up to the door. I think that's kind of how you get away with that and
Yeah,
like,
my
not
dad,
invite
like-
people into your home.
Since all the kids have moved out, he like converts his shed into like a Halloween little haunted house. He just puts up pallets that he stole from work. So like build a maze in there, and then just the tackiest, most outrageous jump scares.
That's
It's
what
a good
Halloween's
time.
all about.
Yeah,
Do-
exactly. Yeah, it's fun.
Do any of you go to like the local haunted house or the haunted trail that they do at McCrory Gardens and the Fear Asylum. Like, have you guys done those? I
Actually,
won't.
never done it.
The Fear
Interesting.
Asylum is horrible.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
I paid $20 for it, waited an hour, and it was like 20 minutes, and there was nothing good in there. Like, I've been to amazing good
Mhm.
spook trails. This was not one of them. I haven't been to the McCrory one though.
Okay. Because like the theater kids at STSU do that one. And I think Fear Asylum is run by a different couple than who used to do it.
Yeah,
though.
the Fear Asylum that I went through, which was last Halloween, was very generic. Like
Yeah.
there wasn't cool prosthetics. It was just like masks and stuff like that. Which the amount of energy that goes into there, like I don't want to dismiss it like outright.
You do better. Caleb.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like it was, I've had better. So
Well, yeah. And if you have, then something like that is kind of disappointing.
Acres of Terror, which is up near Fargo, is probably my favorite experience in like Halloween spook trail type thing
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it lasts an hour
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh, that's way
Um,
too long.
and
It's
it's
a lot of terror.
it's a lot
Yeah.
of terror.
That's
It's
too much.
it's about an acre. So it's like it's $20 for an hour of these thrills, and
Oh,
like
that's awesome.
you go through a cornfield, you go through this connected trailer or a connected series of trailers. Then they put you on a little tiny bus and they just zoom you through town. It's very fun.
Huh.
And they take you to the haunted school, and then you walk through the school. They take you back to the original location, and you walk through the cornfield again. You get to a house. It's a long process.
Yeah.
Like it's a long walk, but like it's $20 fucking bucks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that sounds.
So-
I've heard of that recently. For like the first time, it was last fall, and I had a ton of students talking about it.
Mm.
I had never heard about it before that, but really, really positive things about it. And I think it sounds scary AF, and I am not interested at all.
You got to get scared every once in a while, Carrie.
I do on a normal basis. That's what living with anxiety is.
I suppose. Did you guys ever go to those things?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've done a couple like haunted houses, not specific to Halloween. I'm thinking of like I think there was one up at the State Fair in Minnesota. I think I've done one somewhere else, but like never a specific Halloween related event, which is kind of weird. I don't know.
So I went to one at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay one year. It was a multi-million-dollar like setup.
Wow.
Wow.
And I mean, granted, it was the type of thing that even if you had a season pass, it cost $20 to get in. And if you didn't have the season pass, it was like $80.
Wow.
Jeez.
But it was worth it, man. It was awesome. And you know, in addition to all of the theme park rides, just any open space became like a spook trail.
Mm.
I heard they do something similar at Valley Fair. I call it like Valley Scare.
Oh yeah.
I was wondering, if you've maybe done that before too.
No, I haven't done
Sounds
that one.
somewhat similar, but Busch Gardens is probably better.
I went back and I went to that in like 2016.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah. I mean, we bought like this fast access pass, and we thought it was for the whole park, but it was just for like the 3
Oh.
haunted houses and
Oh.
at the amusement park, which kind of sucked, but it was okay. The houses themselves are pretty cool.
Cool. Okay. I guess I have one final question.
Sure.
What are your plans? Anything exciting this year that you're doing for Halloween?
Sounds like we're doing a murder mystery themed party.
Well, that sounds fun. Tell me more.
They don't know the details.
I don't know the
yet.
details. All I know- Okay, I was like, all I
I'm
know
trying to
is-
get you to talk about it, but also if there's anything else you're doing. But yeah, how about Craig?
Yeah.
Maybe you could tell us some more.
As Carrie so discreetly brought up, we're hosting a murder mystery party this year on Halloween, and it's going to be 1920s themed. And it's going to be a bit of experiment. I'm hoping that everyone comes in costume, and we're going to go all out on the decorations.
We're so excited. I'm so
We're-
excited.
Yeah, like we're planning this a month in advance. We have never planned something this.
We
far
don't
out.
do that. We're not planners.
Yeah, so we're
Gotta
hoping it's gonna be fun.
Gotta start working on my Mid-Atlantic accent.
Right? Craig was like, there weren't accents. I'm like, there were definitely accents, especially depending on what area you're from or if you're a mobster or whatever.
Yeah, she
Gangster.
invited to this party.
Well, it's like bootlegging. I think the basement, I really want to make it to like a speakeasy. I think that'd be super fun.
That would be amazing.
God, I know, right?
Yeah.
See, it's
Yes.
exciting. It'll be fun.
We got planning to do, but it should be a good time.
I'm sure that like when this is all over, you're going to be like, we should have started planning 3 months ago.
I would not be surprised. I would definitely not be surprised. And I was thinking like, oh, maybe we'll do one for Christmas and maybe a midsummer one. And then I thought, this is a lot of planning for one. I think we should just keep it to one and maybe be an annual thing, but have a different themes.
I kind of see your house in future years being like Halloween Town in Nightmare Before Christmas, where as soon as Halloween wraps up, all right, time to start preparing for next year.
I would do that, but I love Christmas and celebrate that for about 5 months out of the year anyway. But after that, we can hit Halloween. I'm fine with that.
So there is no Easter. There's no 4th of July. It is Christmas and Halloween.
Those are all
Garbage holidays.
Yeah, bullshit
Those are
holidays.
Garbage holidays. Absolutely. Yeah. It's like it's like fall hits and it's all the fun holidays. And then the dead of winter comes after all the great holidays. And that's like the worst time ever. And then summer comes and then you grow flowers and it's a little bit better. But
Still garbage holidays.
They are still garbage holidays.
Well, I've had a great time with you guys talking about Halloween, getting a little, not necessarily spooky, but reminiscing. I haven't thought about like Halloween as a kid in a long time, so it was fun to hear about how it was different for you guys. And
I'm sorry to bring up trauma.
I was going to say, are you sure the parts about my mom weren't scary?
I mean,
Because I was scared.
it's funny from an outside perspective.
Like, I was chuckling, but I was also like, you need a hug after this podcast.
It wasn't all bad, but there were definitely some spooky parts.
But if you, listener, have any thoughts or want to share some Halloween stories from when you grew up, you can reach out to us at strikesarefancy@gmail.com or visit our website, ourfancy.site.
Strikes are spooky.
Strikes are spooky.
But thanks for being our first guest.
Yeah.
Carrie, the very first guest.
Yeah, it's
I
always
mean,
fun.
You were the first guest too, before
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
the initial
This is
announcement.
your third time?
Yeah, I'm just like a reoccurring
You're a guest
special
star.
star. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's fun. It's always fun to talk to you guys. So I haven't got to do it with Rob before, so that's fun.
That's what I was going to mention. It's fun to be able to do it with 4 people now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But for today, thanks for listening. I've been one of your hosts, Creepy Craig.
I'm Rotting Rob.
I'm the shambling corpse of Caleb.
This is Curious Killer Carrie.